Hello, toilet fans. This is the new toilet I just got. It's a 1921 Eljer Andes, I believe. I don't know if it's an Andes. I don't know if they made the Andes at this point. But this is definitely a very old toilet. Came with the original tank. Had all the original hardware in it. Hadn't been used in about 30 years. It's kind of obvious. I'm filling up a bucket so I can bucket flush you to show you the siphon action. I can't flush it right now because the tank needs to be rebuilt. There is this crazing on it. It's not in perfect condition. The bowl enamel is gone around where the water line is. It doesn't look like it because I cleaned it up really good, but it is. And there's crazing in the glaze all around the toilet, but the toilet still flushes and it holds water, so there's no problem. There's no cracks in it or anything like that. It's just surface level. And the tank, as you can see, is crazing all over the glaze here, which is very common in toilets of this age. I'm gonna take the lid off. There's no date on this toilet, so I can't be 100% sure it's from 1921, but the house that it was in was 1921. This looks about right for 1921. No cracks on the inside of the tank, except for there's a small crazing area right here, and actually kind of scares me because there's a crack. There's a few crazing cracks on the underside, around where the spud gasket is. There's some around here too, but there's none in here, so I'm not worried about that. I can't get the spud off. So if you have a suggestion on how to get this loose, I'd be very much appreciative, because I'm afraid to try heat. I tried a little bit, but I'm afraid it's gonna make it crack a lot, like explode crack. And basically there's one thing that I think might help me, but I don't really want to do it, is the flush valve is oblong. So basically the flush valve touches the tank at this point if you turn it up. I'm afraid if I do that, I'm going to break the tank into pieces. So if you have any suggestions how to get this off without cutting it and destroying the valve, I'd be very much appreciative. It also came with the original sink. These are all the parts for it. I kind of try to keep them together in one collective area. They're kind of spread out because I've been looking through them, inspecting them, blah, blah, blah. Here's the sink, original sink for the bathroom. Two handle, obviously, you can see it. Pretty good condition, a few chips, but nothing major. It came with all the original ball, I think it's the original ball cock, but it's a crane, so I'm not 100% sure. Here's the ball cock. It's damaged pretty badly, as you can see. The seals in it were gone. The overfill tube was broken. The refill tube, I'm sorry, was corroded and it broke into pieces, so I had to replace that, or I might just have to replace the whole valve. I don't know if it's salvageable. Pretty much everything's there. It even came with the original toilet seat, which is made out of wood. It's over here, has all the hardware and stuff. The rubbers weren't hard on it. It's in okay condition for how old it is. It's a little bit split and needs refinishing, but other than that, it's pretty nice. Now I'm going to do a bucket flush on this toilet. Oh, another thing before I do this toilet has no cracks in it that are major because, well, now that I fill it with water, it's not going to do it, but the tank's not full, so I'll show you. I don't think there's any cracks inside the tank's porcelain, because if you hit it, it resonates. You hear that, the high-pitched noise that resonates? That means there's no cracks in the structure of the porcelain. That's how you tell if the toilet's good or not. The toilet does the same thing. It's a little bit duller, but it's not. It still rings on like that. I'm gonna do the bucket flush on it. It's going to be kind of difficult to hold the camera and do it at the same time, so we have to empty out the bucket a little bit so I can dump it in there. That's about 1.6 gallons or something. Let's dump it in there. Oh, I forgot, I did a test and there's not enough room at the bottom, so now the waste is coming out. Just trying to push it through. There's a bunch of calcium deposits inside of this, so it's struggling to flush correctly. There's still stuff in here. There's all the stuff came out of it. I'll do another bucket flush. There's a bunch of calcium deposits in it though. I'm gonna have to run some muriatic acid through it. Oh, when I got it, there's a bunch of calcium in the bottom of the bowl. I put vinegar in there and I got rid of it, but there's probably more, like down in this area of the trap. So I'm gonna have to put more muriatic acid, or put more vinegar, soak it in vinegar with it kind of pulled upwards, so this part of the trap's down on the floor, so that way the water gets stuck in there, or the vinegar or whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's tons of calcium deposits in this thing. It's 100 years old, so, and the water wasn't particularly good there, so there's calcium deposits all at the tank. I already cleaned the tank, so it looks like practically new except for the crazing. But Okay, and this is about full. We fill up the bowl a little bit with water. The bowl holds water, so there's definitely no problems with it cracked, but there is crazing in the bowl, unfortunately. Nothing I can really do about that, but let me flush it again, bucket flush it. This is what I usually do with toilets when I first get them, if they don't have tanks, just to make sure the siphon action is good. There it goes. So this will be a fun project. The most interesting thing about it, I forgot to mention, is that it doesn't have an extended horn. It has a traditional horn, which is kind of unusual for this period, but it means I can install it in my house without having problems, so that's good. I don't know if the trapway size would be, because it's a 4-inch trapway. The bottom's 3 inches where it comes out, so I don't know if that would be a problem. But anyway, it's in pretty good condition considering how old it is, and I'm glad I got it. This is Turtles and Stuff signing off.